toxic masculinity.
Protesters randomly harass outdoor diners at New York City restaurant.
Yeah, this is pretty messed up.
Again?
Well, that's the thing. That's the reason I kind of wanted to cover this. It's like, I thought we were over this.
No.
So I guess this chick didn't get the message. This chick, I think it's a dude dressed up as a chick, actually. But, like, they got Biden in office, right? By hook or by crook, Joe Biden is now in the White House, okay? You don't have to go protest anymore.
Chris,
Like,
did you see what happened next after the inauguration?
huh?
They protest in Portland, like,
Oh, well, the Portland
and,
people,
like, we don't want Biden.
the Portland people are off their nut. They're not connected to the rest of the Democrats. They're just crazy. But Portland doesn't count. But this dude / woman should have got the memo that they're like not doing the protest stuff anymore. Biden's already in office. Like, a lot of these protests were orchestrated and facilitated by Democrats to try to create the illusion that Trump doesn't have control of the country. That's what I think. And so once, Trump lost the election, you notice that like 90% of the protests stopped. It was like it all just kind of disappeared. You had the Portland people, but nobody else. There wasn't really any protests after that. It wasn't like Black Lives Matter were marching the street anymore. It's not like Antifa was doing anything anymore. It all ended. But this dude / chick thing is bringing it back. Let's see here. A crowd of protesters pounded on the windows. Well, let's go ahead and watch this video. So this is the video here. Let me go ahead and put the audio on.
Those accessibilities, because so many black and brown indigenous community members are often left out. They are often neglected, left out unhoused, without any food, without medication, without medical care, without mental health access. And so we're here with the message because we believe in Black Lives Matter. We believe in the liberation of our community and the liberation of the people of this community. And so what we're here to say is that we need the community support. It takes communal effort to get communal power. Communal effort for communal power. Communal effort for communal power. We're going to be swift. But family, hi, thank you, fam. But before we leave, we want to let the patrons know, that's right, you cannot ignore us any longer. You cannot ignore the community of New York. Because this community is rich, this community is powerful.
So could you imagine being at that restaurant and this... maybe it is a woman. It's hard to tell from there, but it sounds like a dude dressed as a woman.
No, it's a dude. Well, is that happened before White House put the transgender flag?
Yeah. I don't think so. I think it just happened like last night. This article is from today. Yeah. After Queen spelled with a W. This is definitely a dude dressed as a woman. After Queen Jean swiftly demands Spring Street diners demand their attention for an important message about New York City's black and brown communities, she concludes with "Have a good evening," and the group sweeps onward. Police trailing on parallel roads, mostly out of sight. So the police were actually there. They just didn't go in and stop this guy from screaming at these people at this restaurant. Okay, here's why I want to talk about this story. I'm not actually going to read the article because we kind of have seen what happens. I don't really want to get into it, but actually they broke 6 windows out. That's interesting. I didn't know that. I didn't read that far down. He says we weren't really expecting it because we kind of assume people are aware that we've been going through difficult times, especially in the restaurant business, and it just kind of came out of nowhere. This is from the restaurant owner or manager. Sorry. Please confirm that demonstrators damaged the roof of a police cruiser nearby. This is a police car that was damaged as well. So it's not as bad as before. I mean, they're not burning down these buildings. Oh, sorry, I didn't have it on the image there. But here's why I wanted to bring this up. Is like, if Black Lives Matter is going to keep doing this stuff, If Black Lives Matter is going to keep going through the streets of New York and going through the streets of various places in America, screaming and yelling about how black people are oppressed, when black people are not oppressed in America. Most people see this. The vast majority of people are able to live their lives, engage with black people at work, and engage with black people at the gym, engage with black people like at their house parties with their friends. We're going to actually do a party here right now, and it's mostly going to be people who are Indian, black, Asian. There's going to be very few white people, and I know this because I went to party with the same people just a couple weeks ago, and we all commented on how there's almost no white people there, and we're all Republicans, by the way. I'd like to say, and this is my life. This is our life. When we walk through Beverly Hills, right? Valeria likes Gucci. Valeria likes Chanel. Valeria likes these sort of nice Cartier, right?
I don't always single thing from Chanel. No, perfume.
Yeah, you like Chanel, right?
It's no, not really.
Okay, Valeria, I take that back. I'm so sorry, Valeria.
Not really. Maybe when I will be like 50,
mischaracterizing you.
Maybe when I will be like 50 years old, Chanel will suit me.
Right, but you're more okay. So you're like Gucci, you like Cartier, you like stuff like this. But here's the thing: white people don't really shop at Gucci anymore. White people really don't shop at Cartier anymore. I mean, like these like high end, American white people you never see at these stores. We were at Gucci, and I remember saying out loud in the store was full of people, and I turned to Valeria and I go, "There's no white people in this store." And Valeria is like, shh, don't say that. People are going to hear you. I'm like, it's not racist. Like, I don't understand. Like, that's a perfectly reasonable observation to make. We actually got into a very, very small argument. That's about the extent of it, actually, what we just said. But she didn't like that I was saying that. But I was actually quite surprised. I'm like, well, because I know that white people shop less at these brand stores. But I didn't realize how few. But Russians do like this kind of like, these like nice brands and stuff like this. More Russian culture, they kind of respect these like historically, high-end brands. But it's weird. It's like, if black people are so oppressed, why is this store completely full of black people? I mean, it was literally like every single person in the store was black. There were some Hispanics, there were some Asians, but it was almost all black people. It was almost all black people working there. It was almost all black people buying. It was Gucci, right? We were buying you earrings.
It was Gucci.
We just bought her a pair of earrings. She wanted these nice Gucci earrings. She had a specific style she wanted. So we went to the store. We got the earrings, and they're kind of nice at these luxury stores. They sit you in a seat. I mean, it's very unusual for us to go to these stores, actually. But when we do, it's very nice. You're kind of treated like you're at a bank, right? They put you in a specific seat. They have a booth or something, and they bring out the thing in a nice whatever. It's all kind of like there's a big sort of like ceremony almost about buying something there. But everybody there, every single person there was black or Hispanic or Asian, but mostly black people. And we got in a conversation with a couple right next to us, and she had socks that were very similar to the socks you had just bought, and you guys were laughing about that, and it was great. It was a great little experience that day. But there were no white people. Okay, I mean, if everybody going around their regular lives in America sees the reality. And then we see people like this dude, who obviously is very privileged. He's privileged enough to pretend he's a woman on a daily basis. And he's going into this restaurant, and he's screaming at all the patrons, "We're oppressed, we're oppressed, we're oppressed." And like probably half the people there at that restaurant were not white. He's probably screaming at black people about how poor black people are going to this like super nice restaurant. But because we've been to New York, we went to kind of fairly nice restaurants in New York. It wasn't white people necessarily. I mean, it's ridiculous. Nobody goes around life and sees only white people doing nice white people, rich people things, and black people doing poor people things, right? That's just not how the reality is. It's all mixed up. There's poor white people, there's rich black people. And here's the point I'm trying to make. I'm rambling a little bit, but here's the point I'm trying to make. If Black Lives Matter keeps doing this crap, okay, wealthier people or middle class people, or okay, I don't even want to say that, just like halfway normal people with enough money to move are going to move. People already try to avoid, neighborhoods with a lot of crime. And black neighborhoods have a lot of crime. So this is a problem that needs to be fixed, right? If you want to make neighborhoods a little bit more culturally mixed, or, you have to reduce crime in black neighborhoods. If you want businesses to exist in black neighborhoods, you have to reduce crime in black neighborhoods. But here's the thing. If you have nice neighborhoods, even near black neighborhoods, or in areas where you're getting all these protesters coming in and screaming at you all the time and busting up your business, they're not even going to be in the adjacent neighborhoods. Like, people are just going to abandon places where there are these Black Lives Matter supporters. They're going to abandon neighborhoods that have a lot of crime. They're going to abandon neighborhoods that have Black Lives Matter supporters and Antifa and places like that. And you're going to end up with this bifurcated nation. I mean, you already have urban and rural, right? That's how the country has always been. We've had urban and rural. Now we're going to have urban and rural, and then we're going to have like the crappiest of the crappy areas, which is where Black Lives Matter is, and Antifa and like criminals. And you're going to have safer neighborhoods that are further away, because people are going to naturally just shift where they live to places where they feel safe and where they don't feel like they're being harassed by activists. These activists harassing people are no longer just marching in the streets for valid political positions. They're now marching through your restaurant while you're eating about issues that aren't even valid. They're just interested in harassing and making a fuss and getting on the news, and that's all they care. They care about, in this new era of social media where everything is put on the internet, they can get clicks, they can be seen, they can create a fuss, they can get attention. And I think this is just going to push people away. It's going to hurt black neighborhoods. It's going to hurt poor neighborhoods. It's going to hurt, places who aren't involved in Black Lives Matter, people who aren't involved in crime, but happen to live in neighborhoods with high crime rates and all these Black Lives Matter activists and everything like that. I mean, they're hurting the very people they're saying that they're trying to help. I guess that's the point I was trying to make. All right, well, I guess we're done with the news. Oh, no, we have one more.
No, we have one more.
Should we do this last one? Yeah, I guess.
Oh, yeah, we can do it quickly. Tucker Carlson says this new poll shows Americans are enslaved.
Yeah, this is an interesting take on this. So Tucker Carlson this was not his show. He was on a different show. I guess it's like Fox, the morning show or something like that. America's Newsroom, right? Which I've watched in the past. It's a good show. And let's see here. So, Toxic Masculinity, weekdays, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific.